will show you my manga collection. Before I start though, I just want to say that, well, first of all, I'm not gonna be reviewing them, because that is not the point of this video, and I also may not really talk about the story at all. I will just talk about whatever comes to mind while I am showing the volumes. So shall we get started? The first volume, first series I guess, is Ao no Exorcisto, or in English, Blue Exorcist. Well, pretty much it's about, in this world, people, there's demons and there's humans, and there are humans who become exorcists to kill demons. This was one of the first manga series that I bought, because when I first started buying manga, this was one of the series that I was reading that had the least volumes, so I thought it was a good place to start with. Now I guess out of those I'm reading, the one with the least volumes, as far as ongoing manga, would be Koe no Katachi, although that one is ending in a few chapters, so I guess it's not really ongoing anymore. But anyways, as you've seen since the beginning, this is the front, the back. Also, I forgot to mention, you've probably noticed, but the manga is in Japanese. All the manga I buy it in Japanese for two reasons. First, it's cheaper, so that helps a lot. And secondly, well, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you probably know that I am learning Japanese. So in a few months, when I get a bit further in my Japanese studies, I will probably start reading them in Japanese to help me learn new words and just practice my Japanese, really. So all Japanese manga have slip covers, so they often, but not always, have different kind of art in them, or a different artwork. As you saw, it was quite different. And this is the art in this series. And of course, you read it from right to left, unlike here where normal books would be from left to right. I thought this part I'm more used to reading right to left. But yeah, so this is volume 1 of Ao no Exorcisto. Trying to put it kind of far so I have enough space. And now there's volume 2. The back. Inside. I don't know if the back has something, kind of, has a little sketch, or like a 4-panel thing. So volume 2. Volume 3. practice my reading capabilities of Kana. But at some point I stopped because I figured it wasn't worth it until I actually start, using it to learn words and stuff. But yeah. Volume 4. You look so evil in this. Oh, the fridge stopped making noise. Well, kind of. So I haven't really shown it, but the spine has the character from the cover too. They all do, well, in this series. Although honestly most series are like that. Kind of. Anyways, yeah. I'm not gonna show the inside other than on the first few chapters because, well, because I don't want to spoil things. Now, a lot of manga come with a little piece of ad here. Actually, usually get rid of them because, well, first of all, they're only an ad, so it doesn't really matter. And, well, at first I was keeping them, but there's a few manga that I bought that should have had them that just didn't. So I figured it wasn't worth keeping. Also, usually inside there's a slip of paper that says the price and things like that. That I also got rid of for the same reason, because some of them just didn't have it, even though they were supposed to have it. So I guess I'm gonna take this one off while I think of it. Oh, there's a website here. It's an Exorcist website, I guess. www.ao-ex.com. If you're curious, I guess you can go check that out. I'm gonna put that aside. There we go. Oh, come on. Volume 6. Oh, that made a lot of sticky noise. That's not good. Oh, why is it like that? Well, I'm not gonna stretch it too much. Volume 7. it just looks like that. Oh, that's another one with a nut cover. So I'll take that one off too. But yeah, that's volume 11. And lastly, volume 12. I think there is another volume out. I just haven't had the chance to buy it yet. But I will definitely buy it when I can. The series, personally, it's not one of my favorites, but it's still a pretty decent, pretty solid manga series. And I do recommend you give it a try. It's a monthly series, so by that I mean that a chapter comes out every month, which means the chapters are usually somewhere between 30 and 40 pages, unlike the weekly chapters that are usually about 15 to 20 pages. So once it doesn't take that long to get up to date, and once you're up to date, you just have to follow it once a month. So yeah. So that was Oh no, Exorcisto, or Blue Exorcist. Now the next one is a series that I have a lot more volumes, and this one is not. Oh, you kind of saw it a bit, but hey, this one is not an ongoing series. It is done, and that is Bakuman in Volume 1. The series is about two guys who want to become successful mangaka or manga artists. One of them writes and one of them draws. What I really like about this series is that it shows how the manga industry works in Japan. It really does give you a look inside the industry, and it's really interesting to see. And even if you're not that interested into it, well, it is a shonen, so it builds up hype, and it just makes you want to know more and more and more until it's done. This is one of my favorite series of all time for sure. I can't really give it a position, but counting both anime and manga, I would say it's definitely in my top 10. Maybe even top 5, I don't know. Yeah, and this one, the inside is the same, just without color. And I think the back is pretty empty. Yeah. Except there's hair. I had long hair before, so that's why. And since this is the first volume, I can show you a little bit inside. Show you the artwork. When you think about it, the guy writing this manga is making a manga about making manga, so that's kind of funny. Actually, I say the guy. It's actually the guys. This is once again someone drawing and someone writing the story, just like the actual manga itself. Oh, also something I forgot to mention. This series is made by the same people that made Death Note. also showing their experience, how it was to write Death Note, and I guess calling out that they were forced to make Death Note last longer than they wanted, which is pretty obvious if you've watched or read Death Note. So, that was Bakuman Volume 1. Next, Bakuman Volume 2. Is the inside going to be the same again? Yeah, it is. So I'm not going to bother showing that with the other ones because they're probably all like that. And with the back, it's probably once again pretty empty. Yep. I guess that was a quick backwards preview. And now, Bakuman 3. This guy is one of my favorite characters in a manga. Apparently they based him a little bit like Oda, the writer of One Piece. I don't know if that's true, and that's probably very exaggerated, but that wouldn't really surprise me that much. He's just a really weird person, but that's pretty awesome. Next, Volume 4. Volume 5. With those facial expressions. Volume 6. This is a really nice drawing. I really like this one. Volume 7. Volume 8. And once again, the side is just part of, the spine is just part of the cover, really. Or it shows part of the cover. Next, Volume 9. Volume 10. We're halfway there now for this series. Volume 11. Once again, this guy, I'm pretty sure his name was Eiji, but I may be wrong, because it has been a year, probably 2 or 3 years since I watched the anime, and I actually haven't read the manga itself. So, but that's why I bought this series. I really liked it, and that way when I read it, I will know the story, so it's gonna be easier to use it for learning Japanese. And I know I like it enough to actually, read it after knowing the story. Volume 12. Volume 13. I was right. It's Eiji, but his last name is Nizuma. It's Nizuma Neji and Nizuma Eiji. There we go. Volume 17. Volume 18. Volume 19. And last but not least, as they say, Pokemon Volume 20. So, like I said, I really like this series. So, if you haven't read this or watched it, because the anime series is really good, I really recommend that you give it a chance. It may sound pretty boring at first, because, like I said, it's two guys wanting to become mangaka. So that may sound boring to most of you, but it's still really worth giving a try. At first I thought this was going to be boring, but I really got hooked into it. So yeah, that was Pokemon. The next series, I actually only have one volume, and it is Bleach. I bought this when I was in Japan. I wanted to buy a few manga volumes, and I am following the Bleach manga, so I figured I would buy one of them. I'm not the biggest fan of Bleach. It was really good at first, but at this point it's, it just seems like it's not taking itself very seriously. It's still enjoyable to read and follow with, but let's just say it's not one of my priorities. But yeah, still, it's still a pretty good series, especially at the beginning. And this is the beginning, so hey, you probably don't need an introduction as to what this is. You probably all know what Bleach is. If not, well, if I think of it, I'll put a link in the description for all the series, so you can read more about it. But yeah, so that was Bleach, Volume 1, the only volume that I have. Next series is a series that actually ended pretty recently, and that is Kuroko no Basket. Yeah, I don't have all the volumes of this, but I do plan on buying them all, because, like I said, the series is done now, so yeah. I bought the first few volumes while I was in Japan, and the other ones I bought them online. So as you can guess from the cover, this is a basketball anime, or series. I'm saying anime because I watched the anime before going to the manga. But yeah, it's really weird because I don't really like sports. I'm not a fan of any sports, and I don't enjoy watching sports. But this series I really liked. I guess it's because it is a shonen after all, so it is done the same way with kind of superpowers, you could say. They're not exactly they're not realistic, but they're a lot more realistic than, let's say, becoming a rubber man, like One Piece. But yeah, the point is I really enjoyed this series, and that's also probably one of my favorite series. So the inside is not the same at all. actually. Actually, by the time this video goes up, I will have a video dedicated to the 2 or 3 merchandise items that I have from this series. So if you like the series, you should go check that out if you want to. So I guess I'll show you a little bit about the art. Art style again. They look so different compared to the latest chapter of the last volume. Whoa. But yeah, that was Kuroko in the basket, or the basketball. What did they call it? The basketball which Kuroko plays. Volume 1. Next is Volume 2. What color did they use this time? Red. Okay. Volume 3. I don't know if there's any way to guess what color it's gonna be. I'm gonna go with yellow this time. I don't know why. Well, orange. Close enough. Volume 4. I was gonna say green for this one. We've already had green, so I don't know. Blue, okay. Volume 5. This one was yellow. Volume 6. Oh, purple, okay. Volume 7. Another type of green. Volume 8. Darker red. And the back is always exactly the same. Well, I guess not exactly because the numbers are different, but you know, as far as design goes. No. I pushed my stack instead of putting it on. Volume 9, and for some reason there's English written there. Let's try to read it. He flies like a Superman and something tongue. Never take your eyes off him. I'm not sure what this part is supposed to be. And I don't know. Maybe it's gonna say it somewhere else. Or maybe not. No, it doesn't say it. monstrous tongue, but I don't know what this S word would be. But yeah, that's volume 9. And lastly, I have volume 10. I think it has about 20 volumes, although maybe it's more. Yeah, it's probably more like 25, 27. Yeah, I just looked it up and there's 30 volumes, so I still have 20 to buy. But one day they will all be mine. But first I need a new shelf because I want to have a shelf only for manga, because right now I only have, let's say the wall shelf was like, I don't know, five level, I guess. Only one of them has space for manga, and it's already full. So I'm gonna get one solely for manga. That way it's gonna have space. But yeah, that was Kuroko no Basuke, one of my favorite series, like I said. And I definitely recommend you give it a try, even if you don't like sports. Maybe you won't like it, but maybe like me, you'll be pleasantly surprised and will like it a lot more than you thought. Who knows? Now the next series is a very big series that almost everyone that knows of manga knows of. And it's actually been announced recently that it will end in about, well, it's gonna end in November. And if you still don't know what the series is, it is Naruto. So this is volume 1. I don't need to explain what Naruto is. You probably all do. If not, like I said, there's gonna be a link in the description for all of these series. Yeah, this was the art style of Naruto when it first started. This was so long ago. It makes sense for the series to end now. But it's been so long that it's just gonna feel weird not getting a Naruto manga chapter every week. But at this point, it's probably better that way. You can see that the mangaka is probably getting tired of the series and wants to do something else. But yeah, that is volume 1. Volume 2. Also interesting thing to say. I don't know if it's because it's an older series or what, but on the spine, the numbering is done in kanji, whereas the other series I've shown so far were in numbers. I thought that was interesting. Is there anything back? No. So volume 2. Next, I have volume 4. Oh, you're probably wondering, where's volume 3? Well, I bought all these volumes while I was in Japan. Well, almost all of them. At first, I could only find volume 4 and beyond, so I decided to buy 4 and 5. Then later on, I think on my last day in Japan actually, I somehow managed to find volume 1, so I bought it. Once again, they didn't have 2 or 3, so when I got home I went online to buy them, but I could only find volume 2, couldn't find volume 3. So that's why I'm still missing volume 3, but I will definitely buy it at some point. I haven't really been looking for it though, because right now, I don't get a lot of hours at work, so I don't have a lot of money to spend. But yeah, that was volume 4. And lastly, we have volume 5. try or are up to date with it. But if you have never given it a try, I think it's worth checking it out, especially now that it's about to be over. And the fridge started again. But yeah, that was the 4 Naruto volumes that I own. Now the next series is the last one of the so-called Big 3. So as you've guessed, One Piece. Now One Piece is definitely one of my favorite manga. And my favorite long-running manga, for sure. I like how it's over 700 chapters in, and it's still going really strongly. And Eiichiro Oda is not, how can I say it? He's not letting down at all. It's still just as interesting, if not more. Especially the current arc that is happening. But yeah, One Piece is one of those series that the beginning, because of the beginning, a lot of people give up on it. But once you get past the beginning, it's actually really interesting, and even though it is a bit silly, there's also a lot of deepness in it. Like the story is threaded really deeply, and I can't wait to have some more secrets revealed, if I can say it that way. Also, this is the last series that I have for Jump Comics, so the series released in the Weekly Shonen Jump. I guess some of the art, the old art in One Piece is pretty different from now. It's pretty crazy. And we see Zoro. Yeah. So that was One Piece Volume 1. Does that get in the shot? I don't think. No, it doesn't. Okay. Next is Volume 2. And lastly, Volume 3. I only have 3 volumes, but this is definitely going to be the first of the long-running series that I catch up with as far as volume zone, because it's my favorite one of them. I do want to finish buying the Kuroko no Basuke ones first, and to keep up to date with the Exorcist, and the next series that I will show you. But other than that, after those are up to date, this is someone I will be focusing on, for sure. There's over 70 volumes of One Piece, so that's going to be a lot to buy, but, slow and steady wins the race, as they say. But yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorite series of all time. And if you haven't given it a try, you should definitely do so, if you like shonen. Now, the next series is actually the last series that I have. It's also the only one that I own that is not published by Jump Comics. Although, no Exorcisto was by Jump Comics Square, because it's a monthly magazine. But still, this is the only one that's not by Jump at all. And it's also become a real big thing recently. Or I say recently, by recently I mean like a year or 2, I guess. That is Shingeki no Kyojin, or or Attack on Titan. This is another series that doesn't really require an introduction because of how popular it's been since the anime. I really like the inside cover, like the fact that it's a map and just the colors used for the map. I don't know, it just reminds me of old things, and I really like it. Oh no, please. Thank you. So here's a look at the art style, I guess. With a giant. A colossal titan. I don't know why I said giant. It's titan. But yeah. So this is volume 1. Next we have volume 2. The inside is all exactly the same. Like between each volume as far as I see. So maybe I won't show it all. I'll give volume 3 a chance, and then we'll see. Next we have volume 3. Let's see, is it the same? It is exactly the same, so I will not show the inside cover because it's the same every time. Although I really like it. Volume 4. Volume 5. Volume 6. Volume 7. The back is also always the same. Volume 8. Volume 9. Volume 10. Volume 11. Volume 12. And lastly, volume 13. I think this cover really looks badass. It's really cool. But yeah, there may be another volume out. I'm not sure. But I will keep up to date at some point. And I do follow the chapters. So that was Shingeki no Kyojin, or Attack on Titan. So that was my manga collection. Like for the anime one, I've read a lot more manga than what I own. But if you have a suggestion of something you think I should read, just, go ahead and tell me. Maybe I've already read it, or maybe it's already in my list of things to watch, to read. But, it's worth a try. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And on this note, I guess I will read a little bit of manga. So, goodbye.